lovely song. Just checking to see if the mic was working. Can you hear me? Okay. We're going to have our opening prayer now, so please join me. Coming into community together this morning, let us come into the presence of our Creator by opening our hearts and give ourselves permission to enter our inner sanctum. So take a moment, if you wish, place your hand over your heart. Let's take a moment and go into our heart centers. It is here that we can recognize the Christ within, the Spirit that lies there within each of us. This is where our compassion, our caring, our love, our unity resides within our being. This is a mighty power that we possess. We are co-creators. We create this reality we experience. And we know that this beautiful place that we're meeting in is a sanctuary. It's a place of love, of caring, and sharing with one another. And so we are truly grateful to be here. And so it is. Amen. I'd like to take this moment to welcome all of you who are viewing us on the internet. This is the Home Spiritual Center Sunday morning service for September 28th, 2025. So, welcome. Now, I'm going to move aside, and we're going to bring Reverend Lynn up here to give our message.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
Good morning. That was a beautiful prayer, Connie. Thank you. I enjoyed that too. What do you mean I have to wait for someone's permission or approval? I'm someone. Can't I give myself permission and an approval? Have you ever felt this way? I know I have. And growing up, I'm sure that most of us have had to ask for permission for many things. Having a friend to come over or going to see a movie always required permission. Is that better?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So having a friend come over or going to see a movie always required permission. What about now? Maybe we ask our supervisors at work for a day off, or to maybe think outside the box on a project they have us doing. But wait, aren't we adults? Do we really need to ask? Do we really need to ask somebody for permission or approval? We are adults, so yes, we can approve and make our own decisions. Sometimes maybe it's better to ask for forgiveness. And I think sometimes also that asking permission from somebody gets us off the hook for the results.
Ooh.
As we mature, the situations we want approved have outcomes that are a lot more serious than seeing a movie or visiting with a friend. And our decisions hold weight and affect everyone around us, either good or maybe not so good, depending on the permission we gave ourselves. Quite a few years ago, a long time ago, I was a single mom and I was working 2 jobs. I was getting a little cranky, to say the least, and I was sitting at my desk at my second job, really letting myself know how unhappy I was. Telling myself how I really felt. I realized at that point, though, that, excuse me, nobody was making me work this second job. I could give myself notice anytime I felt like it. I'm an adult after all. I can quit anytime I want to. That was my attitude. As I thought about the decision to quit or not to quit, I soon realized that this position gave me and my child so many things that I couldn't do without the second job, improved our lives. So knowing that I didn't have to work, knowing that I was choosing to work and giving myself permission to build a better life for myself and my family, all the pressure went off.
Flip the script.
It. I'm doing it because I want to. And I got to breathe. And it was really quite wonderful. I wish back then, I was young, I wish back then I knew how to give myself permission to add a little joy into my life, a little pleasure, and lighten the load a little bit. Excuse me. I know how to work hard. I've always worked hard. But to fix it and to make it so that it's balanced with good and with pleasure and with joy and with rest, that's very different for me. It took a lot of work. Excuse me. For instance, I thought about giving myself permission to have a spa day. That sounded pretty lofty to me, but how about a stay-at-home spa day where you just take a nice hot bath, you rest, maybe you get up on the couch with your children and watch movies all day, or that special someone in your life you share a book or a movie with. That's an amazing way to give yourself a treat. Or you could go to the river. Oh, thank you, Connie. Maybe a day at the river, or just letting it all go. Just let it all go and take a nap. Our world is in a lot of high energy at this time, and we all are entitled to rest a bit and to relax a bit and to find those ways to do that. And sometimes we have to be creative. Have you ever heard of forest bathing? It's a Japanese practice of relaxation. Let me see if I can get this right. It's known as Shinrin Yoku. Its meaning is to totally immerse yourself in the nature to improve both mental and physical health. Being in touch with the sights and the sounds and smells of the forest so your brain can stop worrying and planning and trying to figure everything out. Turn your cell phone off and just enjoy nature. You might also enjoy earthing, and that's a fancy word for walking barefoot in the grass. I know there's a little more to it than that, but that's the way I look at it. Connecting with Mother Earth can slow us down, allowing for peace, allowing for relaxation, even if it's only on your lunch hour. Just getting away, sitting out there and going, just a little bit. I know when I'm calm, life is better, and I make better decisions. Excuse me. Living in Oregon, it is so easy to take advantage of the beautiful, beautiful forests and the beach and the land. It's very easy for us to do that. So take advantage of it all as much as you can, because it does lower blood pressure, cleans your oxygen out. It just is an amazing gift to yourself that doesn't cost very much. I watched a show on Gaia a few weeks ago about not speaking up and how not sharing our true feelings is so unhealthy. So maybe you can give yourself permission to speak up and be heard. Your opinion matters a great deal, actually, because it reflects who you are. And sparking understanding and allowing diverse perspectives in that conversation, opinions, when shared constructively, can contribute to good decision making and lead to changes in society, as well as sharing who you are as an individual. That's a lot for just giving your opinion lightly and nicely. I can almost promise you that whatever your opinion is, someone else agrees with you. You're not going to be alone. So it's a good thing to just speak up politely and nicely and, hey, this is my idea. It's very good. Science has proven that not speaking up can cause chronic stress, which weakens the immune system. It can cause anxiety, stomach aches, and difficulty sleeping. So, give yourself permission to be part of the conversation. That's important, I think. You can also give yourself permission to question your beliefs. Are your beliefs really yours? Or are they from your culture, your family, a teacher? We all probably have a few things we do just because that's the way we've always done them. Does that belief or opinion still work for you? Does it make you feel good? Or are we going along to just go along? Those are the questions. I ask myself that a lot. Where'd that come from? Where did I hear that? Why do I have that opinion? And a lot of times I don't want it anymore. I don't want that in my body. I don't want that in my thought. But you have to examine it and you have to question yourself. Is this mine? Did I pick it up somewhere? You got to figure that out. Sometimes we can sift through what we believe and keep what is good in our hearts for us and then just let the rest go. Just let it go if it doesn't feel good in your heart. Because those unwanted beliefs or outdated beliefs actually take up room inside and stop other things from coming in to fill it up. So think about it. Think about getting rid of some beliefs or examining them, maybe not getting rid of them, but why do I believe this and what do I do with it now? You can just kind of go, okay, I'm done, and move on. Give yourself permission to be the best version of you, to be who you are meant to be, to awaken your pure essence, and to shine. Just shine as bright as you can shine. Do you want to learn something new? Maybe take a college class or to take a craft class or anything that you want to take? Because as adults, when we learn and expand our minds and try something new, it improves our lives and it improves confidence as well as physical and mental health and can also result in greater life satisfaction. Or maybe you want to get rid of something. And that could mean many, many things. Maybe letting go of unwanted competition, getting rid of anger by forgiving yourself or another, making that call to a family member or a friend that you've been putting off so long and it just keeps nagging at you to make that call. Make that call. Every one of us, I'm sure, has had, I need to call that person, but I don't want to. And when you do, it's over. And it's like, why was it so hard? Why did I think it was so hard? Call up mom and say I love you, or grandma, or whatever, and just your boss, whatever it needs to be, because that gets rid of uncomfortable energy in your body and makes room for more things to take the place. When we get rid of the feelings, some of these feelings, it does make room for something better, creating internal space and the peace needed to embrace reality as it is. And as it is really, not how we would like it to be, but how it actually is, to be able to look at it and understand it, not resisting things that we have no control over, can lead to greater happiness, personal growth, effective problem solving even, and a lot more. There's so much we can do when we just let go of, get it out. It's like cleaning out the refrigerator. We're going to get rid of the things that aren't serving you any longer. How about giving yourself permission to be a hero? I like this one. I was in Tryon Creek State Park a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a huge park in the city in Portland. And I used to go there all the time. I haven't been there for 30 years. And when I look back, I'm going, wow, not much has changed either. It's just beautiful trees and just wonderful. When I was walking around, it's amazing, the old growth, the smell, the environment. My kids were almost raised in there because they could just run. I could take them out of the house. Okay, run, you're safe. And they came home ready to go for a nap or whatever. But it made life really nice. There's a concrete bench sitting in a gathering area where people can sit down and visit. And it's been carved with pictures of birds and grasses and different things. And there was a quote that really stuck with me. And what it said is, heroes are not giant statues framed by a bright red sky. Heroes are people that say, this is my community, and it is my responsibility to make it better. And I liked that. The park was spotless. There wasn't anything, so people must really feel it there and pick up after themselves and do nice things for the park. This is a quote, or was a quote, from Oregon Governor Tom McCall. Way back in 1967 and 1975, he was Oregon's governor. He was an environmentalist, and I believe he changed the shape of Oregon. He wasn't perfect, but what he did was sign into legislation to keep Oregon, to keep trees, to keep beaches open for public. Some states you can't go on the beach if a person's house is there. We're in Oregon. We get to go and walk every beach up and down the coast. And I lived out of Oregon for a while, and I don't take that for granted anymore. I mean, it is just a gift that somebody would foresee that and sign that into legislation that we get to go to our beaches. And I think that's amazing. He also did the bottle bill and a few other things. And he shaped Oregon's sustainability laws, known as the Oregon Story. His desire was to keep Oregon welcoming, but not overrun and overbuilt. And I think that's pretty cool. Now, not everyone is a governor with a large platform. So how can we be heroes in our community? I'm going back in history again. Way back in the 1980s, a soft drink company based their marketing campaign on one person tells 10 people. One person tells 10. And the theory of this was one person tells 10 people how bad their experience was. I had a bad experience, and they tell on average 10 people. It's pretty, if you think about it, that's a lot of people. And that got me thinking, what if each one of us tells 10 people something nice? And I thought of this when I was at the grocery store. I was waiting in line, and I heard the checker ask a person in front of me, did you find everything? Was everything there that you needed? I was a little quiet for a minute, and the person went, no, it wasn't. It was too expensive. The shelves were empty, on and on and on. And this wonderful lady was standing up like this, and as this person's going after her, she just kind of started shrinking. And I felt so bad for her. And of course, the checker said she was sorry, and the customer left. And then another customer came before it was my turn, and said the same thing. And so she shrunk a little bit more. And I know they didn't do it on purpose, but it was the way they felt. And then it was my turn, and I'm going, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I can't do that to somebody. So I'm thinking, what do I do? Well, did you find everything? Oh, yes, I found everything, even though I didn't. But I wasn't going to tell her no. And I thanked her on the way out the door I thanked her. You always keep the conveyor belt clean, and you always put a rubber band around my egg carton so it doesn't come out.
That's sweet.
It is. And she needed to be thanked. And she kind of stood back up again. And I thought, okay, this is okay. This is okay. I don't think the Checkers get a discount on groceries or get any freebies in that way. So she has no, it doesn't do any good to complain to her because she's paying the same price that we are. And then she has to pay, give it to us for that price, which I'm sure it hurts her. It would hurt me. So something to think about. So back to one person tells 10. One person tells 10 people something nice. Oh, what a nice shirt. Oh, I like your shoes. Oh, what a great smile. Simple, easy things. They don't cost anything. Don't take any time, and they don't cost a dime. So 10 people are happy now because somebody said something. And then those 10 people tell 10 people, and that becomes 100. And then that 100 people tell 10 people, so that becomes 1,000. And then pretty soon, 10,000 people are ready, and they've had somebody tell them something good. It doesn't take any time, not a bit. That's energy. That's an energy movement for free. And no time, and that could go around the world, around our earth, I think in a pretty short time. I mean, just by the tens. It's quick. It's easy. You need it to come from the heart, though, too. You can't just, needs to be honest. Since I started paying attention and saying nice things to a minimum of 10 people when I can, I can't always do it, but I try, it has amazed me how many wonderful people are out there. People are coming to open doors for me. They're smiling. They're saying, have a good day. It just changed everything. And I go into downtown Portland. It's amazing. People on the streets, hi, how are you? And you're just, it's wonderful. So the energy we carry by talking to somebody nice comes back to us. We are what we put out, after all, aren't we? We do what we think and say. So I've seen an instant blessing come my way from just saying, nice shirt, nice smile. It's easy. Changed my life. You're welcome. It changed my life for the better. So it's something to think about. It's something, hopefully, to think about. Please give yourself permission to live a big life, to step into who you are meant to be. Stop playing small. You are all, everyone here, you are all created for great things. And I believe that in my heart.
Me too.
Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you. Now I would like to lead you in a guided meditation. And I hope you relax, close your eyes, and take a small breath. Slow, in your nose and out. One more, in and out. I would like you to cup your hands in front of you as in to receive, ready to receive. Just hold that near your heart in a cupping so that you can receive. Now picture in your mind what you would like to ask from the universe. This can be for you or for someone else that you care about or know, or even Mother Earth. Whatever it is, see it in your mind's eye. See it in your mind's eye as already complete. Filling up with love. Just enjoy that feeling. Bring it into your heart. Bring it into your entire being. that one more time. Now wiggle your toes, rub your hands together, come back to the room.
It does. It brings you right back in.
That yoga. I do. And now it's time for the basket to go around for our offering. As this offering, take your offering, whether it's a thought, a love, or financial, and hold it between your hands. As this offering is prepared, may each gift carry the energy of generosity, alignment, and sacred intention, knowing that we are part of the greater circulation of good. We know that whatever you can give is multiplied for the highest healing, growth, and service for you and this community. As the offering basket is coming around, we thank you all for your generosity and for continuing to support our good works. And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen. I would like to call Reverend Connie back up and to have a little inspirational talk and our closing prayer. So thank you all very much.
Well, I'm going to admit that I forgot to prepare for this, so here we go. I'm going to tell you about a book I've been reading. There was this woman down in Australia, and kind of like Lynn, she had reached a day where she was really trying to figure out what's next in my life, because this is not what I want. She was looking at her marriage and finding that it wasn't fulfilling. Her job wasn't fulfilling. And she just was at her wit's end. She lived on a piece of property. Doesn't explain much in the book about that, but she goes out, she has a stone circle there, and with a fire pit in the middle of it. She goes into this circle and she meditates, and she's asking Spirit, what's next? What am I supposed to do? I'm lost. And she is able to do this for quite some time. She's cried. She's been asking desperately for help. And she suddenly hears the word Sedona in her mind.
Boy.
But she doesn't know about Sedona. She knows nothing about Sedona. But I think at some point, if I can remember the beginning of the story correctly, she talks to somebody about this. And they tell her that Sedona is this place in America where there are beautiful stones and so forth. This woman has always meditated and been in contact with Spirit. And so she receives some dreams and further instruction and realizes that what she's being told is that she is a keeper of earth knowledge, and that she is to be a disseminator of earth knowledge. And where she is to collect more of this earth knowledge is from stones. And I believe the name of the book is Keeper of the Stones.
Nice.
And so she talks to her husband and says, I really need 6 months. I need to go away for 6 months and get myself figured out. And he's amenable about that. But he's always been kind of one of these guys that loses his temper and says what he feels. So she's kind of surprised. So she makes arrangements, and she first goes to Hawaii. She wants to kind of settle down and figure out how she's going to do this kind of thing. So she goes to Hawaii. She doesn't really do much work with the stones there at that particular time. But she meets some nice people and she settles down. She gets her energy going better. And her next stop is she stops briefly in, I think it was Los Angeles, to visit a friend. Well, she didn't like the energy there at all. It was not to her liking, but it was just a stopping off place. Then she goes to Mexico, and there she begins her work with the stones. And she goes to them, and sometimes she places her hands on them. Sometimes the emotions come up and she actually kisses the stones. And she gets these messages. Sometimes they're rather cryptic. Sometimes they're poetic. Sometimes they're just right on. Sometimes she feels that it's the stone's message. Sometimes she feels that it's her higher self that's giving her the message. But she starts working with the stones, and she has a very good time in Mexico and meets lots of wonderful people. From Mexico, she goes to South America and goes to some of the ancient ruins in South America. And she spends time working with the stones, sometimes going into caverns or caves, climbing pyramids, and so forth, and collecting more and more messages. But what's happening to her is she's getting in touch here. She's getting in touch with who she really is all of this time. She eventually decides to go to Sedona. Well, she gets there, and she's not very happy with the energy that's there. It's too touristy, too noisy, too crowded, and so forth. The stones, however, the rock formations are incredible. These beautiful big red monolithic things. I've never been there, so I don't know. But she goes to the stones, and she tries to work with the stones, but she's still uncomfortable with her life situation. And she says, okay, I'm going to give this 6 months. She winds up staying there 5 years. She does a lot of work with the stones, and she learns a lot about herself in the becoming. She's given herself permission, you see, to follow her heart's desire. In the end, she goes back to Australia to visit her family, and she realizes that it's time for the marriage, and so does, well, the husband has actually gone on and remarried. They had split before that. But she goes back and she's okay with him. She's okay with her family. Although she doesn't believe like they do, she feels accepted by them. And she goes on. And before she had gone this far back to Australia, she'd gone back to Hawaii. And it was very interesting. Before she went to Hawaii from Sedona, what had happened is that she had gone to 2 different people that did readings that she trusted. She got one reading from one person telling her that she needed to be leaving Sedona, but wasn't telling her exactly where or how. And she had her do a treasure map with her, and she put all these things. She wanted to someday own a BMW. Someday she wanted to have a beautiful house and beautiful surroundings and friends. And on it, she put in one corner the word lucky, big capital letters, orange. She wasn't sure why she put it there, but it's there. When she goes back to Hawaii, her friend that she's made there through where she's staying says, I want, and she sees her dancing. She likes to dance too. She also dances to the stones and stuff. So she sees her dancing, and she says, I want to take you to a party I'm going to tonight. They would love to see you dance. And she does talk her into doing dancing. She had been doing some dancing in Sedona too, and teaching dance. So she goes, and the man that is giving this party is this silver-haired older man that has been told to her in the card readings that she's going to meet. And guess what his name is? Lucky. Lucky is a philanthropist, and he's a wonderful, loving, giving person. And he tells her, when you come back to Hawaii, I will support your writing of your book and your dance. I will set you up in a home and provide you a car. When he talks to her about the car, she kind of goes low key on a couple of suggestions. And finally he says to her, oh, come on, how about a BMW? And she jumps on it. So she gets set up in that, and she goes on to be quite famous dancer. And her dances were all about earth and connection to earth. So that's my story. And that was kind of long. So we're going to have a brief prayer and get on with the day. But it's a very interesting book.
Keeper of the Stones.
Keeper of the Stones. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Let's take a moment, take a deep breath, and come together. We express our gratitude for this time spent together in our beautiful spiritual home, this center, and the uplifting message given to us by Rev Lynn. Yes, we all have the ability to give permission to have a wonderful, uplifting, dream-felt life fulfilled. So let us go forward into this next week and give our heart in loving kindness to all that we can. Give them permission through our kindness to give 10 more people kindness. And so it goes. Amen. See you there. I told you.
Hold the pen.
I want to take this moment to thank all of you that have joined us online or will be joining us online. May you too have a wonderful, kind-hearted week.